Hi everybody, this is Don Harold. How are you? Today is Sunday, September the 23rd, 2007, and this is your CardFutures.com video update for the week. I want to begin by saying something which I begin all my videos with. If you're not a member of thepit.com, you need to join thepit.com. Thepit.com is the site that I base all of my recommendations around. I am not an employee of thepit.com. You need to know that I don't get paid to tell you to visit thepit.com. But if you're going to trade sports cards, thepit.com is the place to do it. And if you're not familiar with thepit.com and how it works, you can join the site for free. And on their main page, they've got a video that will explain exactly how thepit.com works. But I'm going to assume that most of you that watch this video know a little bit about thepit.com and how they operate. So I want to dive right into the cards I'm looking at for the week. Now, I'm going to sort of date myself here by saying that, probably the hottest card I can remember, or the first really hot card I can remember, is the Frank Thomas 1990 Leaf. Now, for a little perspective on this card, if you go back to, say, 1991, I was at card shows where the Frank Thomas 1990 Leaf card actually was trading as high as $100. I mean, maybe my memory is not as good as it used to be. Maybe it might have been even higher than that. There were packs, unopened packs of 1990 Leaf baseball selling for $25 a pack at some of the shows that I went to. And I'm not suggesting that those prices made sense then for a guy who was basically 1 year into the majors, into his career. But I am saying this. You now have a chance at thepit.com to pick this guy's cards up. I mean, Frank Thomas, surefire Hall of Famer. You can pick up Frank Thomas's 1990 Gem Mint Leaf card. We're talking PSA graded Gem Mint right now at thepit.com. For $63.85 is what they're asking for it, and the bid is $58. Now, here's the thing: when you look at a graded card, all right, you've got to take into account that number one, the population of these graded cards is going to be less, obviously, than the population of the cards in circulation. And of the graded cards, only a certain number of cards are going to be Gem Mint. You're looking at an unbelievable, in my opinion, unbelievable opportunity to pick up Frank Thomas. Now look, the chart pattern you're looking at also, forget the fact that it's Frank Thomas and forget the fact that the card is probably undervalued fundamentally based on who the player is. If you look at the chart, if you look at this chart pattern that this card has generated in the last year or so, that is an amazing chart. You're talking about a card that was at $160 a year ago, not even a year ago, and has given back 2/3 of that in the last year. And in my opinion, not only is the card what we would call in the stock world oversold on a technical level, a Gem Mint Frank Thomas surefire Hall of Famer limited, production Leaf PSA graded card, I think you could do a lot worse than pick some of these up right now. Now, if you're one of those kind that, baseball season's winding down, and you think, well, I'm going to get some later, at a better price, and you don't want to pay $63. You'd rather pay $43 or $33 or whatever you think you're going to pay for the card in the future. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. If you don't buy this card now at these prices, keep this on your watch list, and do not regret. Don't look back in time and regret not picking up this Frank Thomas card 6-7 months down the road, a year down the road. All right, this is the kind of card which is, and I'm sort of astonished when I found this card and saw this chart pattern, I was sort of blown away. This is the kind of card that if you don't have one, now's the time to get it. And if you don't get it now, and it does pull back later, if it does drop later, you would be absolutely doing yourself the biggest favor, I think, by picking this card up even at lower prices than this if it dropped. I don't know if I've sounded bullish enough on this card. I just think it's a great opportunity. Okay, next, again, it's often hard to find cards of players that are probably going to be surefire first ballot Hall of Famers on the kind of pullbacks that we're going to see here. But let's look at a Greg Maddux card. Again, this is a Greg Maddux. This is a PSA 10. Now, okay, I understand that Greg Maddux isn't the sexiest player in the world. I understand that Greg Maddux is not. He's been with a lot of teams, and maybe he's not the most charismatic of players, but this guy is a surefire first ballot, no question, straight to the Hall. Take off your uniform, walk right into the Hall of Fame player, and his card in the last year is down right now 50%. Why not from 61 to 40? About 35% this year. Anytime you can find a card, a graded card, a player the caliber of Greg Maddux, I'm not talking about day trading this card. I'm not saying that this is a card that you buy today and then, a couple days from now you sell it for double your money. But when you see a guy like Greg Maddux, who on his performance of this year, his card is down 35% this year based on this year's performance, that is insane. This guy is a surefire, no question about a Hall of Famer. In a card, those Donruss cards, those borders were so hard to find mint. So hard to find in good condition anyway. And to find a PSA graded card, this quality of player, down this percent in such a short amount of time, again, I think this is an absolute must-own card at these prices or lower. The next series of cards may be a little bit more speculative. There's, with Frank Thomas and Greg Maddux, you have players which are generally seen as straight up, non-steroid using players who, on the strength of their talents and their abilities, got to where they were. They were certainly not the polarizing figures of a Barry Bonds. But I want you to consider something here. Whether or not you like Barry Bonds, whether or not you like or believe he did or did not use steroids, here's a guy whose cards are down remarkably in the last year. Now I understand, the news that he was going to hit the record tying and breaking home runs has come and gone. I understand that. And in the stock world, you generally buy the rumor and sell the news, and the news is out. Barry Bonds hit the home run that broke the record, and he's not coming back with the Giants, and who knows where he'll be next year, etc. But this is not a day trade opportunity here. All right, the same knee-jerk reaction that sent his card up, the same sort of knee-jerk reactions have sent his cards down. I mean, this is his 1986 Donruss Rookies PSA 10. Again, a PSA 10 card. We're not looking at a junk card, and we're not looking at a junk rating service. We're looking at PSA Gem Mint 10. This card is down from 180 down to right at 80 right now, and a massive sell-off on a card. Look, if you're looking for cards to buy, the kind of cards you want to buy are cards of superstar, first ballot, surefire Hall of Fame players on sale. It's in the long run, if you will focus on buying players, this caliber player, on sale, you're going to make money on your card. If you're watching this video and you've seen me talk about Barry Bonds, and you've seen me talk about Greg Maddux, and you've seen me talk about that 1990 Frank Thomas Leaf, which has a sweet-looking chart. That's unbelievable. That Frank Thomas card may be the best of the bunch here. These are the kinds of cards, the kind of players you want to pick up, and you want to pick up on sale. With baseball season winding down, you might even be able to get these guys cheaper in the coming month or two. All I'm going to tell you is these are the guys you want to pick up, and you want to pick them up on sale. These are great-looking charts. Folks, have a fantastic week. Remember, I'm Don Harold. Take care, and I will see you next video commentary for CardFutures.com.